Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CSTV.
This is the BBS.
And this is Politicking with the PPs. Kindly subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and remember to touch the notification bell. Welcome. Mr. B, this one is so interesting. The president, the other day, while addressing a crowd of individuals at Ruiru, said that he's not ready to give out the position or to hand over the government to corrupt or to thieves. Actually, that was the right thing, to thieves. That he doesn't want to hand over the government to thieves, and he doesn't want to erase the 10-year legacy of Kibaki and his 10-year legacy to thieves. So ideally, when we look at the things right now, all the events in the country right now, there's no doubt that the government is the president is pointing out to the deputy and his UDA party. What do you think? Is actually the president justified to say that he doesn't want to hand over the government to thieves? And yet the deputy has been in his government, and way back in 2013, he even told the people in Central Kenya that it is 10 years for him and 10 years for Ruto. What do you think?
Thank you so much for that question. First of all, one day in politics is like 1,000 years. So when he said 10 years and 10 years, it has changed automatically. But what I want to bring to your attention is, it is not the responsibility of the president to tell us whom to hand over power to. We as a country have our own sovereign powers, and this country is democratic. We go to elections after 5 years and we choose our leaders. So whether he wants it or not, we the Kenyans, we will cast our votes and we shall select our president. But now going deeper into what you have asked, I don't know if it was deliberate, because politics is just perception. There is a way that the deputy president was brought out as a corrupt person who benefits directly from from corrupt deals. You can remember the issues to do with Kimarer and Arol Dam. There is this saga of making uniforms for our policemen and women, and very many other things associated with this company of Amaco, and even Western Hotel, and even the playing ground for students. So whether that was deliberate or is true, he was pictured as a person who is corrupt. So he's a thief. But when you look at the president himself, there is no any finger pointing at him as being a person benefiting directly from proceeds of corruption. When you hear that there's money lost in the government and is associated with the president, it will be maybe his brother or maybe his close associates. And some of his closest associates, especially who were in the cabinet, he was forced to relieve them their duties, the likes of Anne Waiguru, Charles Ngilo, and many others, because of corruption deals. So because of that, the country has been placed in a position to think that the president is clean, while the deputy president is dirty or is a thief. And that's why when he stands and says that sitaki kuachia nchi kwa wezi, it's automatically speaking about the deputy president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
Now, do you think that also the combining of Anne Waiguru and Ruto in the same camp could be also a trigger for such a statement? Because I saw a tweet, I don't know, I've forgotten exactly which MP tweeted this, saying that the handshake is now clean. I can't exactly remember who tweeted that, but it's one of the political leaders in the country who tweeted that now the handshake is clean when Anne Waiguru left. So does it mean that it's only Anne Waiguru and the deputy who are maybe perhaps making the handshake dirty? Of course, the DP has not been part of the handshake. So I'm trying to join those dots and I'm trying to think out loudly. What could you say about that?
Thank you. As I've said before, politics is a very dynamic game. And even there are some people who say the swearing in of the former Prime Minister, Baba, was a plot by the president. And that's why he had all the powers to stop it, but he didn't. So it was a precursor for the handshake. And from the beginning, they laid a trap for the deputy president to go, and he went in without knowing. So from the beginning, they made him look corrupt. And he entered into the trap by allowing people who were perceived to be corrupt to come to him. Governor Waititu went to him after having corrupt charges. Rigathi Gachagua went to him after having corrupt charges. Now Anne Waiguru is on him after being corrupt. He's known as being corrupt and stealing the public funds. So when you look in the president's camp, he has tried to shake off all the political friends who are seen to be corrupt. Anybody who was perceived to be corrupt, he was kicked out of the cabinet. So that was a scheme. Maybe it was calculated to ensure that the president, his politics are seen to be corrupt-free, while the politics of deputy president to be corrupt. And that is a scheme that I think they were using, knowing that they are going to throw him out in 2022, then that he's perceived to be an outsider.
Wait, Mr. B, you say that that the swearing in of Baba in 2017 was a precursor to the handshake, and like it was kind of engineered by the president because he had the powers to stop it and he didn't stop it. This raises a very critical question on my side. One of the key participants in that handshake was Miguna. And since then, we have seen Miguna suffering, and Miguna is not even in the country as we speak right now. It's not been allowed to enter the country. So if actually the swearing in was a strategy to put out Ruto out of the 2022 presidential thing, why is Miguna being actually mistreated? Yet it was among the people who was very, very key in that swearing in. If at all the swearing in was meant to make Baba a thing in 2022.
Okay, thank you so much. The swearing in, the way I've said it, is just my own observation. I don't have any concrete evidence about it. It's just my own observation. And now to respond to that, it is upon the swearing in that elevated Raila Amolo Odinga to be powerful in this country so that he can be an equal partner in that handshake, if you can look at it that way. It was an elevation that saw him be the people's president as opposed to the president who was now the president of the Republic of Kenya. So it gave him a platform to be seen as an equal partner in that handshake. And such happenings, when they occur, there are always casualties. Mtego wa panya ushika wale waliomo na wasio kuwemo. So Miguna was a casualty. And he served his purpose. He was used, misused, and he's likely to be reused. And I don't think if Miguna, because Miguna in 2013 voted for the president, and even some people allege that he also voted for the president in 2017. People allege that he was given some, he was promised some things which were not fulfilled, and that's why he fell out with the president and the deputy president. I'm not sure of that, but that explains why Miguna was treated badly, not by Baba, but by Uhuru Kenyatta.
Two things come out. You say it is your observation, and you say that the swearing in was just to give Raila a platform to look like he's unequal to the president. So like they need to bring in the handshake. So can I say that actually your observation that maybe the handshake, the swearing in was engineered by the president is wrong, but we can only allude to the fact that the swearing in gave rise to the handshake, and like it was a strategy from the ODM party, from the other alliance that we had, the NASA, but not a strategy from Jubilee.
You know, anything in politics is always right so long as you have evidence or you support it with some tangible evidence. So your hypothesis can be right, but the reason why I feel that also my hypothesis is right is because, number one, the president has all tools of power in this country. The president is briefed of any happenings in this country. I'm sure that the president knew exactly what was happening, but he decided to leave it to happen. You see, he didn't stop it and has powers to stop it. Then if you go into the handshake, it has been proven that it is the president who reached out on Raila. It's not the other way around. So that's why I think all these things were just culminating into this handshake. And that's why I told you, even from the beginning of 2013, when the president and deputy president took power, that is how they started planning on how to make sure that the deputy president will not be the president in 2022. And everything have been unfolding and unfolding to make this proof right.
But Mr. B, again, when you talk about, you said that Miguna was maltreated by the Jubilee government, or by Jubilee, and not Baba. But it has been almost 3 years or 4 years since we had the handshake, and Baba is in a position to talk with the president to bring back Miguna, but he has not done so. So I believe it's wrong to say that it's only the government that was against Miguna, because the person whom Miguna swore in 2017 has said nothing about bringing Miguna back to the country. So I also believe that NASA or Raila has a role to play in the maltreatment of Miguna. Yeah, and maybe that one could form a discussion for another day.
I wish just to put in a last comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
As much as the handshake partners are equals, one of them is slightly more bigger than the other one, and the president is bigger than the prime minister. So as much as they entered in that handshake, I think the president had some demands. And if the president says, Miguna is a threat to my presidency, there's nothing that Raila can do. It's just a speculation.
Okay. Another thing, as we close the conversation, you say that when Miguna and when the swearing took place, and it has prepared the way for the handshake, you alluded to the fact that it is the president who reached out for Raila for a handshake. But many times we have had the deputy president openly in several interviews point out the fact that Raila reached out to him at first. So in this case, the question is, who was thirsty for the handshake in this case? Is it the Jubilee government, or is it the NASA principle? Because if actually Raila reached out to Ruto before the handshake took place, because Ruto rejected it. So, and then here you say it is the president who reached out to Raila for the handshake. That's said and done. Maybe it came later. But the question here is, who actually was thirsty for the handshake? Is it the Jubilee government, or is it the NASA principle?
When you want to respond to such a question, you don't look at the Jubilee government and the NASA. You look at personalities. And for you to understand this, you have to understand the presidency of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was held at ransom by his deputy, and these are now real facts. The deputy president, if you go deeper, of which I wanted to form a discussion of another day, had demands for him to support or to be the running mate of Uhuru Kenyatta. And those demands were very dire. There were some financial demands and half of the government. You know that? And so when they got this power, the president was not comfortable with that. And so in the first term, and that's why you could see it was like a co-presidency, of which the president and any other president will not want that. You know, the 48 laws of power, the first power, you cannot outsmart your master. So because of that ransom that the deputy president had to the president, it is the president who was in need of the handshake, because half of the country was with Raila. Even when you look at the voting patterns, almost half of the country was with Raila, and half of the country was with the president. And even there are some other things that the resistance movement was against, like don't buy from this company, don't do this, don't do this. And because the president wanted now to rule the country peacefully, he reached out to the prime minister. But to be more precise, the president knew that when he takes the steps that he has taken today against the deputy president, because of the numbers in the parliament, he could easily be overthrown. And that's why he saw it important to shake the hands with the prime minister so that he can bring his members of parliament on board, just in case of anything like kicking him out, he has support from the opposition. And that's why I vividly believe that is the president who reached out to the prime minister. The deputy president saying that Raila Odinga reached to him, I think is just cheeky politics.
Okay, my dear viewers, kindly share your opinion and share your ideas concerning this entire aspect of the government, the president not ready to give power to thieves. Do you think that it's right, or do you think that the president is justified to give such such information or such warning or such claims to the public? And again, do you think the swearing in of Ababa at Uhuru back in 2017 was actually state engineered, or was actually engineered by the president to act as a precursor for 2022 presidential elections? Kindly also share your ideas in the chat box. Thank you so much.